Alrighty. Well, welcome everybody, and welcome to our Saturday, October 21st Collect Direct Global Zoom webinar. Now, Don Carson does these a lot more than I do, but I'll be doing more of them now as we get closer to what I believe is launch time. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dave Jordan, the founder and CEO of Collect Direct, and I want to welcome everyone who took the time out of their busy Saturday to tune in here for some special updates. And I promise you that they are special updates. But before I get started, I want to reach out with Joyce and me to our good friends, Nancy and Don Carson. Nancy lost her little sister this past week and just devastated. And Nancy, we're praying for you. We'll see you next week and give you a big hug. Guys, I'll tell you, I don't want, it's just such a tragic thing. But guys, okay, we'll put that past me now. I wanted to definitely say that to Don and Nancy. It's one of the reasons why Don's not on this call today. But guys, this past week and this past month, we have accomplished so much with Collect Direct. And so much is being tested right now, reviewed, going into our first ever mini convention this next week. If you don't attend, if you're not attending, or if you're not able to attend, this is going to be one of the big cornerstones of a company I've been working on for 40 years. And we are going to record it, but it's not going to be live streamed. As far as I know at this point, it's just not. And guys, this is going to be the springboard into 2024. The excitement is building around it. We'll be taking this event and we'll be talking this event. We'll be talking about this event in 2026, 27, and how it was the start of the whole deal. But first, like I said, I don't want to get people upset or whatever, but live streaming it from there is such a tough thing. So I'm just going to say that we're not going to live stream it, but recording it can be done. So we're going to have a recording up immediately right after the event. We'll have some of the best teachers, trainers attending this, along with many different pro athletes and business professionals. Thursday night, we're going to have a little welcome meet and greet with myself, Joyce, and I'm excited to shake all your hands, give you hugs, and for everyone that's going to be attending. Friday, it's going to be an epic day for Collect Direct with some of the best kept secrets revealed. I mean, some of them I don't even know exactly how they're going to roll. But this is a project that we started almost a year ago, and it's all coming to light up this next week. All these components will be live and working at this event. And any of the past speed bumps, anything that's went wrong in the past, I believe that I'm promised that will be gone after this event. And that is so exciting for just a guy like myself, who by heart is a networker. My last company, I brought 19 people in that company that achieved diamond or higher, and they were personally sponsored by me into the system. So I know what it's like to have something run smooth, have something run great, and have something run good. Well, we'll also be launching a couple of new marketing campaigns at this event. And the marketing campaigns, some of them I've been working on and tweaking for 15 years. We've actually tested it this past week in Texas. We tested it in Minnesota. We tested it at a couple other places where people are actually being receptive. And it's exciting to see how it's going to work. I know the person behind that flew in to see me about 3 weeks ago, and we laid out the roadmap, and we said, this could be a major, major component to a person that's willing to get out of their comfort zone, that wants to build a business. And believe me, it's going to be such a great, great tool once we roll it out. So much potential is being launched with Collect Direct. And all of you early birds, this is what I call you, early birds and pioneers. You guys are the early birds and the pioneers to this, because, guys, we haven't even started. We've got over 10,500 items on the site that equal over 2 million items. And we ain't even touched 1% of what we're going to do. Not even. It's not even close. We're working right now with a couple new people. I'm actually going to have two of them at the event, watching the event. I'm trying to get them to relocate to Sioux Falls so we can hire them to be. These are people that I've worked with in the past when I did eBay, running 16,000 auctions a week out of eBay. These guys are going to be moving to Sioux Falls, I'm hoping, and I think they're on here, so I don't want to say too much, or they'll ask me for whatever. But anyway, guys, it is exciting. So much, guys, so much work has been being done behind the scenes, and so much opportunity is getting ready for all of you. I mean, this is going to launch, and all of you guys are going to just enjoy it. And it's going to be huge, and it's going to be simple, and it's going to be something that you can say to yourself, I've never seen a program this easy. So I've never seen a program where, like Don Carson says, you can point, click, share. I've never seen a program where you can share a coupon and sell something. I've never seen a program where 1 minute you could see a 25% off bullseye. 1 minute you could see a 50% off bullseye. 1 minute you could see a contest where things are being given away. It is going to be a fun atmosphere. What I want to do now is I want to go to one of these people I work with daily, but I call her the deadline maker, because she comes in and checks the papers and looks at where things are at, and just is an absolute, unbelievable person the past 6 months with Joyce and myself. And, she put together our first Collect Direct magazine that you could go and click on and read about it. And, she's just a phenomenal person, a hard worker, a good friend of Joyce and mine. Terry Reckner, could you come on and just share a little bit about what's going to happen here this next weekend? Because I know you and your husband, Dennis, will be at it. Terry, if you could just jump on real quick.
Hi, Dennis. Hi, Dave. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you great.
So I had to set up Dennis because he's watching today too. So first, I want to commend you for not telling all the secrets. I know how you are, and I know it's killing you that you can't tell everybody what you want to tell everybody. So being part of the inner circle with this Collect Direct, I can tell you there's amazing things happening. And it was interesting. I guess it was back in May, Dave and I were talking about what was going to go on and different things about education with people with collectibles and things like that. And Dave said, I think we need to get a magazine. And I said, you know what, Dave, in a previous life, I did a magazine in Miami years and years ago. Let me take a crack at it. And he said, okay, take a crack at it. So him and I talked about what would be really interesting for people. And I said, well, people need to understand the collectibles business. And then I looked around the house and I said to Dennis, I said, oh my God, we're collectors. I said, I never thought of myself as a collector, but I'm a Pittsburgher. So of course, I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, a Pens fan, and sometimes a Pirate fan. So I said, okay, I'm a collector. Let's delve into this and see what can we put together online for everybody to really understand what the collectible industry is all about. So that's really how the magazine was started and how we looked at educating people. So we'll go into that a little bit more at the conference next week. But even the fact of the magazines, like the comic books, when Dave was saying about comic books, I never understood the comic book collectible industry until we did that article. I didn't know there were eras. I didn't know about all this stuff. And everybody that Dennis and I talked to, I don't care how old they are, they collect something. So we talk about being a category creator, right? And so when you think about that, I remember when Google first came out or Amazon, they were strange names. Nobody understood them. But if we would have gotten involved in those companies at the very beginning, when we weren't so sure what it was, where would we be today? And I think that's what Dave and Joyce's vision has always been. And I can tell you, I have never seen so much stuff as I've seen over the last, Dave, I've worked with you for 7 years? Yep. And I've been in all those different man caves that you have hidden around all over the place, and downstairs with all your Disney stuff. And then when you had that condo, and Dennis and I couldn't believe the case that you had with all those collectibles. It's amazing that somebody that I actually know has been doing this pretty much his whole life. And now he's sharing it with everybody. So when he gave me that first project, I'm like, this is going to be fun. And I never realized how much fun it was going to be until we started putting it together, and we picked out the pictures and we did the magazine cover, and it was a collage, because when you look at Dave's collectible life, it's just a collage of every category, everything you can imagine. And so it was fun bringing that to life in the first edition. So we're excited for the second edition. And I can tell you, working with Dave's marketing team and seeing what's been going on behind the scenes that nobody knows about the last couple months is going to be really amazing at this conference in Sioux Falls. I'm excited. I'm excited to see everybody. I've got my Uggs out. I've got my sweatshirts. So I'm super stoked to come into that cold weather and to get everybody pumped up and excited and just to see real time once the stuff is launched. So Dave, I'm super excited. I'm excited to get going on that next magazine. And I know that everybody that's involved now, it's, the beginning of anything is always interesting. Let's just say interesting, because you don't know what you don't know until you launch a business, and then little tweaks have to be done. And all of you that have been involved in the beginning, the founders, you've been involved in that. So when we turn on the switch and you see how great everything is, it's going to be well worth it. And it's only been, 2 months, Dave? It's not a big deal. But now going into Sioux Falls, everybody that can come in, it's going to be fun. It's always fun at events with Dave and Joyce in Sioux Falls. So we're just looking forward to seeing everybody. Dennis and I are super excited to be a part of this journey with all of you. And Dave, thanks so much for so far the adventure. And let's just see what happens next.
Thanks, Terry. I appreciate you and all the hard work you're doing right now for our company and what we're doing. And I look forward to seeing you and Dennis. So we've been on many trips at the event here next week. And guys, it's going to be a fun time. So much work goes into these events and the production and everything that we got to do it, and deadlines. And, and my wife, Joyce, she's my events coordinator, and she's done 20, 30 of these. And like Terry says, they're fabulous. They're unbelievable. But guys, it's just so much work. And I'm just looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to the springboard that I've been waiting for 20 years is finally here. Now what I'd like to talk about is what to expect at this event, what you will leave with at this event. This event's going to have some incredible speakers at it, some incredible people at it. So what I want to do now is I want to go to a guy that's actually spoke at my other company multiple times, a company that, did close to $400 million. This guy is one of the reasons why people duplicated, and this guy is one of the reasons why people had success, because he was very powerful when he gave his message, not just because he could give a good message, but because he's done it. He's done it in the industry. He's made the money. He's built the business. He's a no fool around guy. He's one of those guys that puts the pedal to the metal. And when I put this together and he found out about it, he called me up and he said, Dave, I can't believe what you're talking about here. I used to own card shops. I'm a collector. I love Pete Rose. And it was just a phenomenal match. And I just told Dale, I said, Dale, let's rock this thing. And Dale said, I'm all in with you, man. So Dale Culver, you want to come on real quick here and just talk a little bit about what's to come here this next week? Are you on mute? Roger?
There we go.
Okay, hey, you got it.
We good?
You're good.
Yeah, I'm excited, guys. And I would just tell everybody, a lot of people look, well, Sioux Falls, how do I get there? I can't. And it's not too late to start thinking about how could you? How could I? Because initially people think, I can't make it. But stop and think about how could you make it? Because if you can, you need to be there. This happens once. It happens once. And this is the first time in my career that I ever get to be with a company other than the one I started, but from the very beginning. And I am beyond excited about this because I think so many of us, a lot of us have a direct sales network marketing background. Maybe we don't have a collector's background. Collectors are strange people. They're passionate people. They love it. They love what they're doing. I mean, everybody says, well, Dale's hard to buy for. My girls just say, get him something that has UK on it, you're good. Get him something that has Cincinnati Reds on it, you're good. And that's how collectors are. And this event, guys, a lot of you have not been in that world. When you combine that world with network marketing, to me, I can't believe I get to do this the rest of my life. And when I look back 5, 6, 7 years from now, and it's like, man, who was there when we first launched this thing? Who was there? Because what we're doing has never been done before. And what I'm seeing is people are trying to look at this through collector's glasses, or look at it through direct sales glasses or network marketers glasses. We try to look at it, and in our brain, we're trying to make it something that we're familiar with. You can't do that with this. This has never been done before. We're not out there trying to find people and convince them to change brands or try this new lotion potion pill or join my stupid travel company. We're not in that world. We're not in that world. The only thing that even makes this even similar to that is we pay through a network marketing structure, which is great for us because it means we can be free. We can replace our current income. We can create financial independence if we want to. But other than that, there's nothing about this in my mind. I think people are still looking at this through MLM glasses, and you got to get past that. You got to think bigger. You got to think bigger, because what's the number one problem with network marketing? Finding customers. That's the number one problem. That's why when I started, years ago, 1980, with the Shackley Corporation, I had to have my customers and I had my distributors. People that were career frustrated, wanted to do something else. But I had my customers and I had my distributors. And here's what's happened in network marketing over the years. And now it's a box. And if your customers are your distributors, you don't have a real business. Look at all the other network marketing companies out there. Their customers are their distributors. Why? Because it's difficult getting customers. Why? Because for 50 years, people have been said, try my product, try my vitamin. This one's made from Mars. This shampoo's made from Mars. It'll make your hair grow. All this stuff. And the market is sick and tired of hearing about it. Even if you have the very best weight loss, nutritional products, skincare, face goop, you got the best out there, undisputable. The market doesn't care. That market does not care. That's not our market. Collectors care. They love it. I buy stuff. I've been a collector for years. I love collecting. I love following my sports teams. My wife's into collecting. Collectors are a different breed. And once we tap into that market and we show them how they can get their collectibles free because they can make a few $100 or a few $1,000s a month, sharing with other comic book collectors that they know, sharing with other Beanie Baby collectors that they know, other coin collectors that they know, the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. But we got to get out of the mindset that most of us have been in for years. And we got to really see this as big, what it really truly is. I believe one day, I believe this will feed my great grandkids. But I really believe that one day when you say collect direct, it'll be just like saying eBay today. I believe that's how big this is going to get. And who's the people that were there in the beginning and built it and made it happen? It's people on this call. So I would just urge you, try to get to Sioux Falls. If you can't, go through those videos multiple times. And when you enter next year, you got to leave that conference with your hair on fire. And you got to get to a place emotionally and psychologically that you've probably never been before, or maybe you were 5 years ago, 10. Remember, you know how that feels. You all know that almost all of you here, you remember that time when, man, you were unstoppable. You got up every day, get out of my way. I'm winning today. And the network marketing industry has just beat people up for years because we've gone into the market with products and services that maybe we really believe in. And it helped Aunt Mary. And we really believed it. And we loved it. But the market didn't care. If you guys get that and get it from your head to your heart, we'll blow this thing up. We'll blow it up. I'll shut up. Back to you,
All
Dave.
right. Dale, you tell it the way it is, man. I mean, guys, all I can say is this, he's a multi-million dollar earner. And when he speaks on stage, he's not a whiner. He's one of those guys that, he's a doer. And it's very rare to see people speak on stage that have actually made the millions and then talk about it. And so, Dale, thank you for jumping on today. I can't wait to hear what you got to say. He kind of won't tell me what's going on, what he's got to say next week, but we're going to find out, right? But anyway,
Yes.
It's going to be fun. And all I can tell you guys is that every time Dale talks to me, he talks about eBay. He talks about Amazon. He talks about the power of the customer. And right now, guys, as you look at our site being built, as you look at the Collector Act being put together, all these items that are getting added, and some people look at it and they say, well, the price is higher than eBay and da-da-da-da-da. But it's just getting loaded. It's just getting started. It's just getting ready. There's a system to everything. And if the word comes out that we're cheaper than eBay, well, we're not a company next week, It's all done in stages of the pioneers. It's all done as you go and as you grow. And it's very easy, Dale, to throw a 20% bullseye on that computer and kick everybody's butt because it ain't too far off on the gas tank when you're looking at all these numbers all over the world. And guys, all I can tell you is Dale's spot on when he says the industry's sick and tired of this and that. They want to see customers. They want to see people buying something they want, not that they got to buy, something that they want, something that they want to put in their man cave. I was talking to Terry earlier and she mentioned to me, wow, I've never seen so many different man caves that you have. I have different places where I go, I put my collectibles up and Joyce knows that, that's my happy place. Last year, I came home from Las Vegas. I won almost $400,000 and it was all in cash. And I caught COVID from the money on my fingers because I went to bed at 2 a.m. and I didn't wash my hands. And so I went like this or something in the morning. I woke up and I had COVID and I drove home with COVID from Vegas. But when I got home, I was locked in my basement. I was locked in my basement for a week and my little brother's on here. And I told Joey, I said, Joey, I'm going to be locked up here for 5-6 days. Dave's laughing. I'm going to be locked up here for 5-6 days. And Joey goes, boo-hoo. It's like being at the Smithsonian Institute where you're being locked up, and I was in my happy place actually for 10 days because I had what Dory calls long COVID. But guys, all I know is what Dale's saying about this events, they just create things. They just light things up. I mean, you never know when that moment's going to happen for you. It happens and you see it and it says, boom, there it is. And a light turns on and you just look at it and say, one more thing I want to say, Dale, what you said about that is conventions, going to conventions. My first venture was back in 1994. A guy who might be on this Zoom came into my store multiple times trying to show me a program. One day he came in and he showed me this program because he bought a card. It was 6 o'clock. I had a half hour. I didn't have nothing to do. He showed me this program and I got in. And the next thing you know, I'm getting awards. And I was wearing a ripped up shirt. I'll never forget this. They had their convention in Cincinnati at the Westin. And I never forget that I won these little tickets a week before. And I had free tickets to the event that I won. And I jumped in this van with a couple buddies of mine. And Joyce packed me a suitcase. And I'm wearing ripped up clothes at this. And I'm running through there because I was a card guy. I wasn't a networker. I wasn't a suit and tie guy. And man, oh man, that just turned into the best lesson I ever learned in this direct sales industry. And it's one of the reasons why I'm here and why my last company did close to $400 million from that lesson. So guys, it was a light that turned on. It was a guy standing on stage talking about not being able to afford a roll of toilet paper. And all of a sudden, somebody comes to his house and shows him this program and he's going door to door. And the next thing you know, he's driving a Rolls Royce. I mean, it's just these kind of things that just I said to myself, Well, I can do what he does. I can go do that. And man, oh man, did we. And all I can say is thanks, Dale, for jumping on here and giving me a little tidbit of that. Because every time I hear the guy, I get excited. This industry's been good to Joyce and myself, guys. But the best part, it's the friends, it's the Terrys, it's the Dales. It's the special part of the industry of making friends that you didn't know through duplication of people, through duplication of friendships. I want to talk for a minute about something I've been working on for about 15 years, testing it, working on it. But the cool thing about it is it actually worked. This system could be mastered like I've mastered it. This system could be a success for anyone who's not afraid to get out of their comfort zone. And the reason why I say who's not afraid to get out of their comfort zone is because this system requires a little bit of that. But who wouldn't trade success for getting out of their comfort zone? So what I want to do now is go to another good friend of mine who I met through this system. And he went on to achieve triple diamond in my last company. He put over 2,000 people in 4 months. And he was just a phenomenal networker. And I met him through the power of this system. So Dory O'Neill out of Vancouver, will you come on for 5 minutes and just explain how I met you and how you got attracted to what we were doing then? And we're going to take that now and just turn it on like you've never seen it.
Sure. No problem at all. Yeah, thanks, Dave. And I truly wish I could be at the event. Unfortunately, at the last event with the last company, I ended up catching COVID, and it's turned into long COVID, and still not over it. So it's been a real challenging year. But that aside, what keeps me excited and keeps me motivated is when Dave told me that he was going to launch Collect Direct. I have, ever since I met Dave, been on him to take advantage of this collection that he's created, to share it with the world, and to create prosperity. So I'm an old networker. I've been doing this, believe it or not, since I was 12 years old. My mom got me into her Amway business, and I've been in the industry and owned a very large network marketing company that was very successful over a 17-year period. So I was kind of jaded to network marketing. And one day I get this phone call, and it's a young woman on the phone, and she's telling me about some type of a business opportunity. And she says, it all involves collectibles. Are you a collectible fan? And I said, well, I only really care about typically one thing, and that is the Vancouver Canucks. I got a Vancouver Canucks jacket on. I'm crazy for the Canucks. And she said, oh, you're a Canucks fan? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, we're doing this event out in Surrey, BC in a few weeks. What if I sent you a couple of tickets, and who's your favorite players? And I said, well, obviously the Sedin twins. She says, no problem. And I get off the phone. I said, yeah, I'll go to the event, maybe, but I thought, I think this is nonsense. Nobody's going to send me collectibles in the mail. And I go over and I talk to my wife, and I said, the craziest thing happened. Get a call from some random person, and they say that they're involved, or they're going to bring me into some deal. They're going to send me tickets in the mail, and they're going to send me collectibles. And I just started laughing, and I went down and watched whatever I was watching on TV and kind of forgot about it. Then I get this letter, and this letter's got Sioux Falls postmark on it. And I thought, who the hell do I know in Sioux Falls? And I see that there's something inside, and I open it up, and here's 2 admit 1 tickets for Tracy and I. And then it's like, I don't know if you've ever had a holy experience where you think an angel is around you. As I reach into the envelope, Daniel and Henrik Sedin appeared right before my eyes. And I was having an out-of-body experience in that moment, because who on the God's green earth would ever create? So you think I'm going to that event? I'm going to that event. I couldn't sleep, because in there it said, if you come to the event, I'm going to give you a pack of 100 cards. And I was like, well, they already sent me this. So I've got proof of concept. I've got the cards in my hand. And now they're going to send me for an evening. I said, I don't care what we're doing that night. We're canceling everything. We're going to this event. And I get there, there's the cards lined up. So that is how I met Dave Jordan. That is how I was introduced to his collectible. And as I'm sitting in the very front row, like I always do, if I'm going to any kind of event, make sure I'm paying attention. I go, do you realize, Tracy, I'm whispering there, do you realize this is a network marketing deal? I was like kind of stunned. Anyways, make a long story short, I didn't join. I said, look, I'm part of another company. I only ride one horse at a time. And that company screwed me over. And Dave and I had become quite close. Dave, Joyce, Tracy, and I had become quite close. We had met each other in Seattle a few times. We've gone on vacation. We've done all these things that were absolutely quite magnificent. But we were just friends. We were not involved in a business together. And this company screwed me over. And for no particular reason, they took away my entire distributorship because I wouldn't move somebody illegally. And I phoned up Dave, and Dave said, well, you got a home with me, brother. And we moved 2,048 people. It was actually in 2 weeks, not 4 months, but 2,048 people over. And we became good friends, became better friends. We did a lot of things together. And as he took me through the Collect Direct warehouse, at first I thought, oh, well, he's got a collection. I saw this little collection. I saw a few cards in his office. I said, oh, this is nice. And then he says, oh, get in the Hummer. You guys get in the Hummer. And so Tracy gets in the Hummer. I get in the Hummer. And we see this warehouse. I think, oh, he must have a lot of nutritional products in this warehouse. And I get in there, and there's nothing but cards and collectibles and toys and magazines and posters and you name it. And Tracy, who normally could care less about network marketing, Dave has this unique ability to create excitement in anybody. And he says to Tracy, he says, what was your favorite toys when you're growing up? And Tracy said something. I don't remember exactly what she said. And Dave, kind of like a magical being, says, oh, come on over to this pallet. And he starts digging and rooting around. He says, is this the toy? And he's got the same toy from my wife's childhood. My wife's 56 years old. So this is a toy from the 60s in a box, never opened. And she was gushing. From there, Joyce and Tracy got to work. And Tracy enthusiastically helped build out a couple of the offices and put up posters and that. And so I've been on Dave ever since that day. And I said, you got to share this with the world. 550 million cards, collectibles galore, toys, you name it. And I said, if you ever do this in a business opportunity, not only would I get involved, but you will be blessing so many people. You'll be helping so many people relive their memories, whether or not they become distributors or not. And what Dale said is absolutely so true. You don't have to explain to somebody if their favorite player was Brett Favre, and you can offer them a Brett Favre memorabilia. You don't have to explain to somebody if somebody's into hockey like I am, what that means to them. So this is a natural business. This is a business that is for those that choose to be the distributors, going to create prosperity. And you can see this little poster behind me, Collectors Must Watch. I did a test market with Dave's permission just to see what I could do. I was actually boarding a cruise ship because my son felt sorry for me. He bought me a cruise to Alaska. And I said, Dave, I'm going to put this together while I'm away and see what this little campaign does while I'm away. Produced 5,700 leads in 30 days. 5,700 leads in 30 days.
You know,
Yeah.
Dory,
I wasn't even home to see it. So Dave, back to you.
Dory, that's just it's called the Dale Culvert approach. You know, you, me, Dale, Terry, a lot of the people on here can't even comprehend 5,000 leads in 30 days. But guys,
Yeah.
I seen him. I seen what he was doing. And yes, it was clean. He did not spam nobody. He didn't, it was all done totally legit. And Dale or Dory, thank you for being on here. You got a story similar to Dale, like, you know, not just being somebody that talks about it, you've earned it, you know, and you know what it's about. So I appreciate you jumping on here and talking. The main thing I wanted you on here for was to come on and talk about being recruited with that toy or with that sports card. Or I would not even have you in Collect Direct. You know, I wouldn't even have you pushing me to do Collect Direct. And that's the beauty of it. And that's the one thing I love about it. And so thank you again. Guys, I want to go to one more person here before I go to another good friend of mine, Gail Tracy. Gail Tracy was at the very first event in Kelowna where I actually met Don and Nancy Carson, our master distributors who are taking the day off today for family things, and family's always first with Joyce and me. So, but anyway, Gail, can you come off mute real quick and just talk for a couple minutes about how excited you were at that first event, and it propelled you into becoming a triple diamond in my last company, and just an exciting time. When you seen this, you said, I could do this. I could do Beanie Babies. I could do this. I could do comic books. I could do these trade shows. Gail, come on for a second.
Good morning from White Rock, Canada. Yeah, I was at the very first leadership event in Kelowna, British Columbia on October the 3rd of 2015. And drove up there at 4 o'clock in the morning, and because it's 4 hours from Vancouver. And I was told you have to be there because leaders are born at events. And believe me, in our last company, Dave's last company, I went to every single event. I didn't miss one. And I was blown away just with and Don and Nancy were there. And of course, Dave and Joyce. And of course, like Dory, sat in the front row, very front row, because I wanted to soak it all in and find out, you know, what was going on with this company. And we were blown away, totally blown away. Dave's, you know, passion for his family, the business, and, you know, he'll never lie to you. He'll never, you know, take your business away. Like when we left there, our mouths were just hanging open. We're like, this is the real deal. Well, that was the real deal then, and this is the real deal now. This is totally different. And everybody's just so amazed by this. This is what's happening in Vancouver today. It's a collectible comic book and toy show for 2 days. So I'm taking my postcards. I just got my 1,000 postcards, and I'm going to go hit up that show today. So totally excited. Just got my my dugout today with my Beanie Baby. Her name's Gigi. So yeah, this is totally exciting, and I'm excited to, you know, see all my friends again and just get back into it. Dawn is just, you know, got some new banners made up and tablecloths for you know, trade shows and all that. So super excited with what's coming down the pike, and excited to see Dave and Joyce again. So
yes, Gail, thank you. And like I said, you're gonna be one of the poster childs of this company. We're gonna show that not only you can sell vitamins and do this and do that, you can do Collect Direct, and it's gonna be unbelievable. So we're gonna rock and roll.
thank you.
Guys, I don't know if he got off already or if he's still on, but if Matt Williams, if you're still on here, can you come on for just a minute or two? And I know you're going to be in Sioux Falls this next week, and I know that your Arizona Diamondbacks, who you won the World Series with in 2001, are pumping the Phillies right now, and nobody thought that would ever happen. So hopefully you're not at the Game 7 of the Arizona Diamondbacks winning the World Series. Hopefully you're in Sioux Falls. So Matt, you want to come off for a minute? I know we've had a lot of calls, but just you've been one of the people that have really pushed your excitement with me. And we've been back and forth and just exciting. And just so you guys know, Matt has signed 20,000 or more rookie cards of himself for this project. And when I told Matt I had 50,000 of his cards, he didn't know that that was even close to be true. But now he does because his hand hurts, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
Well, I apologize for my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather. I've been out traipsing through the woods with my brother, doing some work on our property here. But I'm excited about the possibilities. It takes me back to my youth. It takes me back to my family and understanding, what this collectible business is all about. Again, I'm not a huge collector, but I've been in that world. I've been in Major League Baseball for almost 40 years. So I understand it. I understand the world. I understand how people get excited, whether they're a young kid leaning over the dugout or a parent that has, an affinity for a player from the 1960s. It really doesn't matter. That same feeling is there. So I'm excited about this project. I'm excited about you opening up this treasure trove of collectibles to share with the world, Dave. And so, over the course of the last year or 2 years, actually, we've become good friends, and I'm understanding more about the business. I'm understanding more about how I can support this business, and bringing folks, to light here that may be able to take this to where you want to get it to. So I'm excited to be there. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody and learning more as we go along, for sure.
So, Matt, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you jumping on. I won't have you talk to more because of your throat. Sorry, if I would have known that, I probably wouldn't have brought you on. But
No
guys, Matt is going to be at the event with other athletes, and the beautiful thing about it is with Matt, I'm going to have cards there, so Dale Culver can take his picture with him, get a card, put it up in his man cave, and say, you know what, I met a dude that with Gonzo, won the 2001 World Series. This guy would have been the all-time record home run hitter if it wasn't for the strike. He'd be your home run hitter. I'm not going to knock Barry Bonds. He's one of your best friends, Matt. But all I can say is, this guy was on fire when baseball went on strike. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget when your card skyrocketed. But here's what I can tell you guys. Matt Williams is real. He's here. He's going to do this with many other athletes, from Olympic gold medalists to football players to basketball players to you name it. They're going to do it. They're here. And I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a movement. This is going to be like what Dale said, a movement of people, sharing it with their friends. Like, it's no big secret that when the movie Titanic came out, everybody went and seen it. It's no big secret that when the movie The Passion of the Christ came out, most everybody went and seen it because it was a great movie, but because everybody was in awe. They're saying, oh, you got to check that out. Well, you know what? There's a reason why eBay is a $15 billion a year company. There's a reason, because it's the number one auction site in the world. We'll never, ever want to be like that side of where it's at. But I believe that CollectDirect can enhance the lives of a Gail Tracy, saying, you know what, Gail, let's get you making $5,000 a month again. Let's get you making $10,000 a month again. That's the part I see with this program with my buddy Dave Sonderland, who I'm not going to embarrass and have him come on and say a few words. But here's what I can say about it. He's watched, he's seen, he's watched Dave Jordan. This guy works harder than me. And here's the beautiful part, Dale. We only worked in our first company together. He's at this one because he looks at this one as this is too easy not to do. He looks at this one to say, I could do this one, Dave. I could hand out a Harley Davidson postcard at Sturgis. I could hand out a Mickey Mouse Disney collectible at Disney World. I mean, it's not rocket scientist, But here's the beauty of it, guys. Here's the beauty of it. When you see this whole thing come together and you look at phase 2, and there's only a few people on here that know about phase 2. Phase 2 is June of 2024. When you see phase 2 to phase 1, you're going to say, boy, I was happy at phase 1 because that's where all the pioneers were created. Boy, I was happy at phase 1 because that's where I got sold. That's where I got in with a guy with an 8th grade education. I can tell you this. My little brother's on here. He watched me in a league that he played in. I led the league in hitting. I was the best hitter in that league. But guess what, guys? I didn't go to high school. I didn't play high school ball like Matt Williams. I didn't get my shot. I was an amateur boxer. I wasn't that good, but I thought I could win. And that's my point with this industry. You know, you might not be able to swing a baseball to hit a home run 450 feet like Matt Williams consistently and bat 300. That's very few. 1 in a million could do that. But I'll tell you what, guys, 1 in a million have the drive right here in my heart, in Dale's heart, Terry's heart, Dave's heart, to put their mind to something and say, you know what? I'm going to make this work, and I'm going to make my wife happy. And the sky is the limit, guys. And I'm not going to be swinging for home runs like Matt Williams, but me and Matt, we're going to swing for Dale Culverts. We're going to go swinging for the fences. And Matt knows when he puts that talent with this talent, and it all comes together, guys, this is a home run in itself. Guys, I hope to see everybody on here next week. We're going to do everything in our possibility we can to record it for you. There's not even a teeny weeny itsy bitsy chance. I don't think it'll be live streamed, but I am so looking forward to meeting everybody on here. If it ain't at this event, it'll be at the next event. And Matt, I can't wait to pick you up, brother. We're going to have a great time. And this time it won't be my buddy Matt picking you up. It'll be me. So guys, with that, thank you.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
Dave, hold on a minute.
Yes.
Sonderland wants to say a word.
Okay, let Davey Boy come on. I seen him in Deadwood about 3 months ago, driving back from Vegas. Go ahead, Dave. Come off mute.
Can you hear me, Davey boy?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I just want to say good leadership is good. And me and Dave go back 25 plus years, you know, best man at his wedding and stuff. But just, I like the leadership, Dave, and I'm excited. And I think that's a trustworthy point for you as leading this charge. So we're going to be good to go.
This guy worked at the bank. He was the president of Otto Bremer out of Minneapolis. He was his dude. He ran the banking, right? This guy drove a car that said ex-banker on it. His car said ex-banker on his car, you know? And we just went and did it. We just went and did it. And the beautiful thing is, back then, Dave, what was I doing? My cards. You've been to card shows with me. I mean,
Yeah.
You remember driving down the highway with me on the CB going to a card show with 25 tables? And people are in awe. They're in awe.
Well, that's why I just kind of close to you. But for the other people listening, I like leadership and your dedication. I mean, we loaded up the van and went to card shows and everything. It was, but if you got the desire and you got the good heads up leadership of what we got going, this is huge.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be. And Dave, you're going to be huge here and you're back. And like the old Blues Brothers, we're putting the band back together. Hey, we got to get the life. And I don't want to embarrass my little brother, but I'd love to bring Joey on here because you like hanging out with Joe.
Yeah,
I mean,
Joey's a good guy, but we got to get. Are you going to sing a song on stage?
Not at this one. Not at this one. But
why not? How about some imitations?
I might do a little impersonating, but like I said,
impersonating.
Guys, this event is going to be so fun. And Dave's going to be there too. But this event is going to be so fun. And not just about, like Joyce said, well, maybe you shouldn't wear a suit at this one, she said. Let's be a little bit different. This one's more sporty. You know, let's maybe not wear a suit. So you know what? It might be the first convention, Terry, that you see Dave Jordan wearing a black polo shirt with Collectorect on it instead of me wearing a suit, you know, because I hate suits. You know, I hope the last time I ever wear a suit, I've been a coffin, or I'll probably be in my shorts and a sports shirt in there too. But anyway, thanks for jumping on, Dave, Dale, Terry, Gail, Dory, Matt Williams. Guys, this can't get any better than it already is. Dale, thank you for jumping on, and we are going to talk here in a little bit. But guys, this is exciting. It's been exciting. I can't wait to see y'all next week. I don't want to drag this out.